Good day, my friend. This is the Friday morning version of this thing of ours. Let me remind you, as I always do, as part of our benediction, that there are 144 days to the election. Before we begin, prefatory note, a proem, a précis, a prolegomenon, a little bit of a forward. Let me explain to you what I like to do. First, I like multiple issues simultaneously. I want to think symphony versus solo. I like to hear everybody at once. I like to hear all of the stories, all of the issues, all of them at one time. I like to go from issue to topic to issue, back and forth and back and forth. I want to do it seamlessly and effortlessly, and I want to go. I just want to move. This is not a conversation. I'm not going to sit here. I'm not going to spoon feed. That's just not what I do. It's not my style. Sometimes I'll talk about something and I'll just lose interest in it because it's like, okay, I think it's time to move on to something else. It's like being at a buffet. Very, very simple. Next, I want to talk about reality. And reality really bothers people sometimes, especially when you talk about this country. I love this country, but we are dysfunctional. I love my fellow Americans, but they are absolutely clueless. And you know it's true, and we all know it's true. Americans, in particular, those now who find themselves in the position of being, I guess, aware politically, know absolutely nothing. And you've got to keep that in mind. Remember this. You've always got to think Fox News. You've always got to don't think, for lack of a better word, don't think Pepe Escobar, think Jesse Waters, think Charlie Kirk. Very simple, very low hanging fruit, very obvious. Think bumper sticker, not books, not pamphlets, not specials, bumper stickers, playbook, cookie cutter, echo chamber, little morsels, little things like that. Today we're going to be talking about why the G7 matters, the shaping new world and why nobody cares about it, this notion of polycentric harmonics that nobody, again, is the rest of the world is involved about. And also the thing that will kill us is our sense of we're America, we don't care about the rest of the world. That's going to kill us. That's got to change. And with all this, throughout this, Donald Trump still has this genius. He's a savant to cut right through it and get right to the basics. And for just fun, wait till you hear what Fannie Willis had to say. And where do you see where that is going? And wait until you see and think about how the First Amendment and free speech has all but disappeared in our world. So right now, my friends, first of all, thank you for joining us. Make sure you are subscribed. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Critical. And make sure you also like these videos. Make sure you hit that little bell so you're notified of live streams and new videos. And before we begin, this critical word from our critical sponsor. Gold has been on an unstoppable run. It's gone up more than 81% in the last 5 years and almost 20% in the last 12 months. And it's happening. It's happening. Central banks are ditching the dollar and U.S. treasuries and buying more gold. And the good news, it's predicted to go up more. UBS even said it would go up to $5,000. And Noble Gold Investments' phone has been ringing nonstop. Everyone wants to protect their retirement with gold. And you can do the same. Now, here's what you do. Noble Gold Investments can help you secure some gold to protect your future. From day one, you work with the same dedicated all-American expert. Whether you're a beginner or an experienced investor, Noble Gold Investments will make sure you get all the help you need. And this month, Noble Gold Investments will give you a free quarter-ounce gold standard coin if you open a qualified account. Go to noblegoldinvestments.com. That's noblegoldinvestments.com. And remember, there's always a risk of investment, and there's no guarantee of any kind. Now, let's talk about a couple of things right now, my friends, getting right to brass tacks and understand why things matter. What is the real significance of this? Evan Webb knows why. He says Americans are spoiled in years of slogans and having it too easy compared to the rest of the world. I think you're absolutely correct. Let me show you one thing about what America does. We have a G7. Do you understand what G7 is? No. What America does? Anybody care? No. The stories that will blow anybody's mind who's paying attention is what is happening in this country or around the rest of the world regarding BRICS, comparing G7 to BRICS. It is real GOP growth and forecast for 2024. G7 2. Let me see. The world 3.2, and the BRICS countries are. Let me see. I have on my Twitter account comparisons of G7 versus the rest of the world. India, China, UAE, Iran, Russia, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Brazil, South Africa, Ethiopia. This is these. When you say Ethiopia to Americans, what do they think of? Starvation. They have no idea. Let me ask you a question before we begin. This is critical. Listen to me very, very seriously. Listen to me critical. What is the number one sport in the country? Let's talk about the top 10 sports. Number one. What's number one? Soccer or football. 3.5 billion. 3.5 billion. Number two in the world. Biggest sports. 2.5 billion. Cricket. Number three, hockey. 2 billion. Number four, tennis. 1 billion. Number five, volleyball. 900 million. Number six, table tennis. 850 million. Number seven, basketball. There we go. 800 million. America, Oceania, and Middle East. Number eight, baseball. America and Japan, 500 million. Number nine, rugby. Number 10, golf. Football's nowhere near it. Not even that. Cricket, number two. When you tell an American that, what do you think they say? I don't watch cricket. I don't watch. It's always about them. I don't watch that. I don't watch CNN. I don't watch that. I don't watch that. And here's the reverse. AM radio is dead. Oh, I listen to AM radio. See what I mean? Bacon's bad for you. I'm just giving an example. Bacon's bad. I eat bacon. You see what I mean? This is the way the world, see, to us, this is what you have to understand. We are the center of the world to us. And everybody wants to be us. Maybe in terms of some of our culture, our music, whatever. But our government, no. We don't understand this. We're like the beauty queen who doesn't know it's over, who's walking around with her sash from 1965 Miss America saying, "It's over, honey. What are you talking about? What are you doing?" We don't understand what's happening. This is what the world sees. This is what everybody's talking about all over the world. This is the extended version. Look at Biden. What the hell is he looking at? There's a stop for 1 second. There's a man who just very good he's a very good skydiver who lands right next to him. Biden doesn't seem to see him. Biden, watch how he's looking off somewhere else. He sees something. He's got his hand out. He sees it. What is he looking at? There's a man who just fell from the sky to his right in front of him, landed on a circle. And Biden's out staring off somewhere. Now, Giorgia Meloni, I hear she's second from the left. She's the hostess. She's the prime minister of Italy. She realized, they go, wait a minute, hold it. They're saying, hey, Georgia, get him. Huh? Here she comes. Wait a minute. She's like the sheepdog who tries to corral. Over here. What is he looking at? Over here. Oh, okay. He was seeing something. He was observing something. There's Rishi. Look at the Macron sitting there saying, what the hell am I doing? Half of these people, Eurocrats, either out of office, no favorability. This is the end of the globalist system. This is an anachronism, what you see here, G7. Look at him. What is he looking at? They put your glasses on. Sun bothers him. Look at him. He's just absolutely paralyzed. He's frozen. He's not listening to the lecture from this guy from Esercito. No. He's just wondering, can I go back? Can I go to bed? Matlock's on. Do you have Matlock? How about Golden Girls? Can I watch Golden Girls here? This is your president. And the 25th Amendment is there, and I don't know what it's there or meant to do. Now, ask most Americans. You and I can go to Times Square. Times Square is very close here. And we can always spot the Europeans by their shoes, their tennis shoes, or their trainers and their glasses. You can always tell, especially in the winter. In the winter, the way they wrap scarves, you can spot a European. And more importantly, the way they eat. The way they eat, notice the fork. They do this. Americans do this and this and this. Okay, fine. That's what we do. So you can pull up Europeans here and Americans here and ask them, what's G7? Europeans know. What's going on? What are BRICS countries? Go into Fox News and explain. Right now, as we spoke, there was a meeting in St. Petersburg that Scott Ritter was precluded from watching. I was listening yesterday to, I mentioned this last night, I was transfixed listening to two different speeches from my dear friend, the incredible, the inimitable, the ineffable Judge Napolitano. And he had on Max Blumenthal, who is, if they gave the Pulitzer in terms of actual seismic reporting and criticality, but he won't, because he's speaking against a narrative that you can't speak against. And right now, as we speak, there is a story that I believe either BBC or the Telegram or somebody did. New York Times had to walk it back. This is a story which is so incredible in our country, and you will never, ever, ever, ever hear it. And it's the idea that the stories of the atrocities that took place on October the 7th, it has been alleged and cited that many of those stories absolutely were baseless. Made out of whole cloth, just made up. Baseless. Not all, not some. I am not expert enough about this. I'm giving you the headline of the headlines. There are people right now who are so reluctantly saying, okay, all right, okay, you're right, all right, you're right, you're right. In America, including Joe Biden, you can say, no, I know this. I saw this. No, you didn't. Yes, I did. No, you didn't. No, I know that. No, you don't. Why would anybody lie to me? What are you talking about? Evan, by the way, Evan Webb says Americans do not travel the world enough. Get out and see the world. Look back from another country. Thank you for that, but you don't have to go and travel. We have this thing called the internet. You can listen to their news, listen to their music, listen to their commentary, read their news stories, their blogs, understand what they're saying. I don't have to go to Harvard to hear how they are crushing the free expression rights of these students. I don't have to go there. I know this. They're telling you this. And the biggest story, Americans hate revision. They hate it. And I'm not standing by it. I'm not saying whether the story is true or not. I'm telling you, there are people from, quote, reputable news organizations specifically stating that this story is filled with disputatious, incorrect versions of the fact, etc., etc., etc. Did you hear about? Do you think Jesse Waters? Do you think Mark Levin? Do you think any of these folks anywhere on any? You think Rachel Maddow? Where are you going to hear this? You live in a fishbowl. You live in a fishbowl. And it doesn't make something true or false, but at least let me hear what the issues are. Other countries know all about this. All about this. We know nothing. We have a president, by the way, and to show you how little we care about the rest of the world, we sent him out. You don't have to send him out. They should have kept him home. He can fall down, hit his head, whatever it is. Why would you subject him? I'm going to suggest something to you, my friends. It is so labyrinthine, so, excuse me, so Machiavellian in terms of its subject matter that I don't even know how to put it into perspective, but let me see if I can. What if someone from a globalist platform, a globalist frame of reference, wants to sabotage the United States? And since it owns the United States, it puts people in power who are themselves unable, unequipped, ill-equipped to handle the rigors of this, so that we lose our national standing, we are humiliated. What if this were done deliberately? What if there was an inside job to destroy what's left of our credibility? Do you know what's happening? Do you know what Tony Blinken's doing? No, America's. Does America know? No. Did you hear what Tony Blinken and Kirby said about the Gaza policy? No. No. But the Gaza, well, whatever. That's America. Whatever. Now, to show you again, yet again, you shouldn't have one of these episodes. Watch this. Watch Biden in a, I don't know when this, forgive me, I don't know when this was taken. Watch Biden meet or having Chuck Schumer speak, and Biden doesn't remember, excuse me, that he shook hands with Schumer. Watch. He shakes hands and wait. Now he wants to do it again. See? Look at this. Huh?
Now our great speaker, our partner, who all of these bills.
Did you see this? Remember the old ones where you shake your hand out and you go like that? Did you just watch this horrible? Here's Biden. Now just this is, I don't know what this is. Okay. Put his hands out. After he shook hands, his hands out.
Now
gone. Now we can make fun of him, and that's easy. But why do you think he's there? Why is he there? What is it? Who is trying to sabotage this for the rest of us? The other day, Lavrov spoke. I think it was in St. Petersburg at this. And he's talking about polycentric, multinodal. I pulled something up from TASS from 2013. And this is Sergei Lavrov. A polycentric system of international relations is forming in the world, but not all countries are prepared to accept it. Here's a quote. Complex processes, excuse me, are taking place in the world. They have just started, and there is a long way to go before they are completed. But it is clear that they will lead to the emergence of a polycentric system of international relations based on the consensus of civilizations, mutual respect, and international law. You ever hear anybody speak like that? No. Once the polycentric system is formed, this is 11 years ago. Quote, the world will use shared values from all religions, striving for the good, decency, freedom, responsibility, and respect for the elderly. Attempts to interpret these values in its own way are made by those who do not want to lose leading positions our Western colleagues have been holding for centuries. A new world order, this is Lavrov, 2013, will require, quote, fairer and more democratic systems where economic growth centers and new financial power centers should play a greater role in managing world economy and political processes. Hence, the task to reform the international currency and financial system and the United Nations, including its Security Council. If I walked in right now and I said, if I walked into the vault, so to speak, of Fox News and said, can you give me a list or a time of how, if the word BRICS, BRICS, has ever been mentioned on this? Does Larry Kudlow talk about that, or is he talking about just inflation rates? See, Americans, we live in this fishbowl. We don't know what's happening right now. As far as NATO goes, are you familiar with what's happening with Turkey and NATO? Turkey may bounce out of NATO to form. I mean, it is transformational. You know why Russia is in Cuba? You know why that ship is there? There's no weapons on there. There's no nuclear. You know why it's there? To remind you, I got your Monroe Doctrine right here. How does it feel? I'm right here. This is just one ship. We can come anytime we want. You're in the Black Sea. We're over here. Think Americans know about that? No. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. They have no idea. Did you see what happened when MBS and Riyadh went? I think they're basically going to scrap the petrodollar. Nope. This is alien. What are you talking about? This is gibberish. This is gibberish to Americans. They have no idea what you're talking about. None. But you know who does know? Trump. Trump knows this. He knows this. Trump is a savant. Trump does stuff that drives me crazy. Trump hangs around boxers, cool guys, jocks. He has like this 14-year-old boy mentality, when do you ever see sometimes like a kid, he's a boy, but he's becoming a man, and he's growing into his puberty and he thinks people are cool. Like, wow, that older guy's cool. That jock's cool. Oh, look at that. This guy, I want to be a part. Oh, he's a football player. Wow. They look up to the cool guys. The cool guys historically have always been idiots. These are people who are into, whatever, the towel snapping, gum chewing. That's fine. But that's never been my cup of tea. These have always been the profound idiots that we could always intellectually push around. But Trump loves these. Portnoy, UFC, all of the boxers. Not stuff that a president would normally be a part of. But it's the way he is. But despite that, he shows a genius. He shows an incredible genius. He shows an incredible genius to get to he can debate and he can get with these people faster than anything you can imagine. You give him the bottom line and he gets it. Trump understands he didn't have Trump Hotel in the U.S. only. He wants to have it around the world. He's international. He gets it. And when you deal with these people, he gets it. He's not going to be bought by the shadow government. He's not going to be bought by the military-industrial complex. I can't say that about the whole Israel thing, but Americans don't really care about that. That's not going to hurt him one way or the other. I hate to say it. There's a lot of folks. I don't know. It's hard to put that into position. But he gets Ukraine 100%. 100. Mattias X says, in Lavrov's comment you read, you didn't mention him saying the UN Security Council being reformed Imagine the UK and France being replaced by India, South Africa, or Brazil. Well, that's what BRICS is going to do. Name one thing, by the way, Mattless, thank you. What do you think BRICS is going to do? Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. What do you think they're going to do? Where do you see what's happening? The UN is a joke. It is a joke. It's been a joke since the beginning of time. If I don't have to tell you that. I don't have to tell you that there have always been these pockets of globalist little cabals since the beginning of time, whether it's the CFR, the Trilateral Commission, Bilderberg, or whatever. You know it and I know it. There are these extra supra-governmental groups that, in my mind, violate the Logan Act like you can't believe. And it's tired. We're just tired of this. Now, let me give you another story. And this is an example of something which, if Trump talked about this, you're going to laugh. He would make such an impact. He wouldn't listen to me if I told him, because I'd have to tell him the story. Okay? Let me show you this. This is the Trump, speaking with this Logan feller, who, by the way, after having been hit in the head a number of times, still has much of his cerebral wherewithal. Listen to this subject and this question.
Do you?
Okay, let me stop right there. This is critical. Now, you can laugh all you want. You can say, oh, I cannot tell you how many people are looking at this. This is the number one. Listen to what I'm saying. This is the number one closely kept secret of them all. The number one closely kept secret of them all. Number one. Nothing else. Nothing else. Not 9/11 or who killed Kennedy or... Nope. This is so closely held. And the people who hold the secrets are the military industrial complex, but specifically manufacturers, aeronautics, Boeing, Grumman, or whatever, the usual. These are the folks, these are the people who run the show.
Just like you, actually.
Now, let me stop right now. First of all, before we forget, the president doesn't know anything because there are so many levels of top secret above the president does not know everything. You know that, right? The president does not know everything. The president does not give a list. The president can't say, hey, I want to see, are there any levels above me? No, he can't do that. He has no access to that. None. There is no law that says that. If four guys at McDonnell Douglas have all the information, if they're dealing with some spook center at wherever it is, they have absolutely no duty, no jurisdiction. There are some people who might be one of 3 or 4 people who know the only truth about such and such. Whether it's Area 51, name it, whether it's Rendlesham Forest, it goes back, Phoenix Lights, go back, whatever it was. That's number one. Number two, Americans don't know anything about the history. They think ufology is Roswell or some guy with a funny hat, or they always use funny graphics with the critters. They know nothing about this. Then there's so much disinformation out there. Stephen Greer, who makes these people out to be, oh, they're all wonderful and they love, we don't know. Now listen also to what Trump does. Trump always loves to talk about what people look like. What people look like. Are they tall? Are they in good shape? Men too. Are they handsome? Are they young? Are the women beautiful? Are they tall? He is obsessed with physicality. Obsessed right there. Believer in what? Right off the bat. This is the most, I mean to tell you. This is it, okay? For him to say this, you don't believe what?
But I have met with people out there.
You were the president of the United States. You have access to the Pentagon, theoretically, to every corridor of secrecy. And you mean to tell me that your anecdotal discussion with a few pilots, you're losing me, sir. You're losing me.
And if you go to Nevada, the aliens
the little section is about the size of, I think, New Hampshire or something. It's the biggest Groom Lake. It's in this whole configuration. Has he heard of Annie Jacobson?
Where they think all the aliens. Yeah.
Yeah.
You see how he's this is where he's losing me. He has the chance right now to perk up the ears of so many people.
Roswell. I think it's the number one. It's the lines of people waiting.
Always with the accordion hands, the lines of people. Okay, go ahead.
You have no idea how many times I'm asked that question.
But don't you have access to that
Well, why don't you answer the question?
information?
I have access, going on.
He doesn't have access. Let me just say this again. He does not have access. That's a lie. They've never, he has not done the first bit of research on any of this. He talked to a few good-looking pilots. What?
When they say things are going 4 times faster than my beautiful top of the line airplane that goes, well, they have.
Good for you, Logan. Logan's got it. He's got it. You think Trump knows about anti-gravitic, their own inertial things? You think Bob Lazar and S4
out there, but those are the ones.
Okay, let me stop right now. This is the part. This is where I say to yourself, sir, you had the chance. You had the chance. I'm going to tell you how you answer this. A white monkey, by the way, says, who was it, the CEO of Grumman or Raytheon, who said he can send ET home? That was 15 years ago. That I do not know. Do you think that Close Encounters, by the way, which was one of the best ones ever, do you think that Spielberg did not get any special help with that one? Do you not think so? Stand by for a second, my friend. Stand by for 1 second, because we have a very, very important message to be heard and to be listened to from our good friends at mypillow.com, promo code Lionel. It's time yet again, my friends, to hail and salute our great friends at mypillow.com. And if you use promo code Lionel, you'll get a free gift. No purchase necessary. And yes, I know a free gift. It's a tautology, so sue me. But first, listen carefully. Check out their $25 extravaganzas, premium My Pillows, Queen and King, My Pillow 2.0, My Pillow bed sheets, the lowest price ever, sandals, slides, slippers, 6-piece towel sets, 4-pack dish towel sets, simply and absolutely unbelievable. So go to mypillow.com/Lionel, mypillow.com, promo code Lionel, or call 800-645-4965, and watch how fast Mike Lindell answers the phone. MyPillow.com, simply and absolutely the best. Donald Trump knows absolutely nothing about this. Nothing. I don't think he's ever thought about it. I don't think he cares about it. I don't think This is the chance to open up every politician since day one. They always talk about, we're going to open up the files about JFK. Stop lying about this. Stop lying. But if I sat down and I said, let me explain something to you. Listen to me carefully. If I said to you, Mr. President, the world, our planet, is about 4.5 billion years old, right? So that's 4,500 million years old, right? Good. If that was a place that was 4,501 million years old, they would have 1 million years over us. Now, theoretically, from 1903 or whatever it was until 1969, we went from the Wright brothers, if you believe all this, to landing on the moon. That's 66 years. If we can go from the Wright brothers to landing on the moon in 66 years, what do you think a million will do? What if there is a star system, a planet, a group of people, whatever you want to call it, that is, think about this, 1 million years advanced to us? Do you think it is possible for them to have developed systems of propulsion that blow our minds? Do you think that's possible? Yes. Do you think that your government would tell you everything about this? No. Not because people are going to run out into the streets, not because they're people are so that War of the World stuff. I don't know where that came from. Americans don't run in the streets about anything unless there's a chance to loot, and there's some phony baloney criminal by the name of George Floyd who was dispatched, and that's the excuse or the pretext for you to steal stuff and destroy property. Then they'll march. But other than that, Americans don't run. They don't care about any of that stuff. Do you think Rendlesham Forest? Do you think that story is business? Do you think Phoenix Lights was a joke? Do you think that the governor of Arizona, Fife Symington, and how many others who saw? Now, we don't know, obviously, what something is when you see a craft that floats, that doesn't seem to have any form of propulsion, any rivets, any aileron, anything, which, as Logan says, has its own sense of inertia, which is what Bob Lazar said. When you have hundreds and thousands, this is biblical times, when all of them are testifying. Do you think these people are crazy? See, if I talk like this, this is the most important. This is the most important thing in the world, okay? This is the thing which I find absolutely critical. Listen to what I'm saying to you. He would be able to talk to people in so many ways where he would open up an ability, like a sentience. They would say, I know what he's talking about. I want to follow him. I want to follow him. I like this man. And then he says, I'm not in a position right now to divulge. Here's the thing. Do you know anything? Well, as you can understand, Mr. Logan, I can't tell you what I've learned. I can't tell you what I've learned. I can't tell you what I've learned. I can't put you in the position of it. But I will tell you this. When thousands of people see something, that's eyewitness testimony. There are people who are on death row. There are people who have been executed. There are people who have, the Bible is based on eyewitness testimony. If you think that there is nothing to this, if anybody thinks that that this is just some misunderstanding, and there's so much confusion, then I don't know what to tell you. Do I believe in aliens? What is the the binary star system? That's Friedman talked about it. It's about 30 light years away. I'll get the name of it. As you know, Mr. Logan, the faster that you travel, the more time dilation in the Einstein's twins paradox. There is all theoretically based upon general and special theories of relativity, perhaps ways to exceed the speed of light through wormholes or whatever. There are things, there are physics, there are rules, there are things that I am not equipped to argue with. But if you think that there was nothing to this, so what does Trump say? Well, an alien, what do they have to? He's always playing the accordion, always playing this imaginary accordion. Biden's shaking hands, but Trump's going like this. Okay, fine. He's got to watch it because he's becoming kind of like a parody of himself. You have to, when somebody sees you doing something repeatedly, stop doing this. There's this is the chance for him to say. And then when somebody talks to him, he says, it is human. It is in our very way of thinking. It is in the DNA of us to explore. When Einstein decided to completely upend Newtonian physics, we applauded him. What is the matter? I guarantee you, he didn't say, yes, I believe, or I've seen them. Jimmy Carter said he saw him. Ronald Reagan talked about it all the time. Jackie Gleason was an absolute believer. I think he had a house that was shaped, and he asked Nixon one time to allow him to go see something. Eisenhower, I'm not sure this is supposedly met with aliens. This idea for the longest time has been too often reversed. I can sit here and tell you that I can hear the voice of God, that I can see Jesus, that I can see religious icons cry and weep, and nobody thinks anything of it. Nobody talks about going to Lourdes. Nobody talks about going to Lourdes, Mr. President, people in wheelchairs who want to touch a rock. You don't laugh at that, do you? You'd be surprised people go to Lourdes. So why is this any funny? So again, nobody's briefed him. He has no idea. In some respects, Trump is a genius, but in other respects, he's a pedestrian. This is not his area. Logan knows more about it than he does. Now, let me also tell you something. I've said this before, but I don't know when they're going to put this guy into office. I'm telling you, listen to me. But you're looking at the nominee, okay?
Back down here at the border, Tijuana, right behind me, San Diego sector.
It's not Tijuana, it's Tijuana. 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 Not Tijuana. Tijuana.
So back down here at the border, Tijuana, right behind me, San Diego sector. This is the San Ysidro port of entry, not too far away, which is the largest in the Western Hemisphere. We were just down here with the National Guard, meeting with customs agents as well as Border Patrol, talking about our partnerships. 390 National Guards men and women that have been working, particularly as it relates to fentanyl here in the state of California. Look at the bottom line. At the end of the day, they need more resources. Everybody needs more resources. And the Republican Party has been
You also need to have a border, schmuck, but that's not the point of this.
Consistently standing in the way of providing the resources, the support for the men and women working hard, not only
the resources is called a border.
Here at the border, but out throughout the state of California and this country to address the issues related to the border. It's time for them to stop playing politics. It's time for the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, to stop playing politics and do the right thing.
Okay, what does that mean? Nothing. Of course it means nothing, absolutely nothing. But he's addressing it. And that's the kind of stuff that people love to hear. Charlie Calais says, if says anything, he's getting charged. Oh, I think you're trying to say if Trump says anything, I'm trying to figure out what this means. Yes. If maybe perhaps, and by the way, thank you. I guess what you're saying is Trump's got to be careful because if he says something, they'll say you violated something. No, he doesn't have to do that. Pay attention to what's happening regarding Newsom. Forget what you think as a Republican and as a non-Democrat. This guy's going to be the nominee because he's addressing it. He's talking about fentanyl. Now he's caring about it, even though, and I know you're going to say, but you don't understand the California's falling apart. It doesn't matter. He's going to blame everybody else. Now, here's one for you, which is absolutely one of the most incredible stories. You will love this. This may seem as low-hanging fruit to you, sort of, but it's fascinating. Fannie Willis. I don't understand something. The use of colloquial English that can be misinterpreted. Let me give you an example. She was speaking before a church this week, I think it was yesterday, and she said, if she speaks incorrect English, but it's a colloquialism, like if somebody says, ain't nobody gonna tell me what, they kind of, okay, maybe that's a means of extending an olive branch to people of a particular Southern vernacular, maybe what Obama did it sometimes. He could go all of a sudden into the preacher voice. Hillary tried to do it. Didn't work. Even that Juneteenth debacle with Biden drinking his Hawaiian punch, he's just staring. They were, doing that thing, which is fine. But when you say the wrong thing, there was a woman who was running she wants to be taken seriously. She thought it was funny. She thought during COVID, she could sit in her car and do this tough talk like this. And no effing way, no effing. And she thought it was brilliant. And people in the Bronx thought it was great. People out in Brooklyn thought it was great. They go, oh, this is great. This is funny. She's saying it the way it is. No, you sound like an idiot. You sound like a fool. That may work for your neighborhood, but for the rest of the world, it's a different story. It's a different story. Okay? So what Fannie Willis says, and by the way, don't rule her out, because if she runs for Congress in a particular area that voted her for DA, she'll be in Congress next to the rest of these, next to AOC and MTG and Jasmine and the whole crew. Listen to this sterling stentorian, this sesquipedalian, this mistress of Logodedally.
Over there running their mouth. I'm over here paying.
Okay, let me try this again. While they be running their mouth. Now, this may work for you. To me, it comes across as illiteracy.
While they over there running their mouth, I'm over here paying them no mind. See, I'm so tired of hearing these idiots call my name as Fanny.
Now, remember she said this. Remember she said this. Idiots who call her Fanny. Remember this. Put this in the back of your mind. Remember, idiots, if you call her Fanny, as do I, you're an idiot.
In a way to attempt to humiliate me.
Okay. And, wait a minute, there's more.
Because like silly schoolboys, the name reminds them of a woman's rear.
Do you think, by the way, you know that in Ireland and some particular European countries, the word fanny does not mean what you think it does.
While they over there running their mouth.
Oh, sorry about that.
I'm over here paying them no mind. See, I'm so tired of hearing these idiots call my name as Fanny.
You've never heard it before.
In a way to attempt to humiliate me. Because like silly schoolboys, the name reminds them of a woman's rear. She
also said, by the way, that she was sexualized. It was the particular phrase was. Now, remember what she said. Whoever refers to her as Fanny is an idiot.
It's so important for us to fight for education, because when we do that, we can aspire to careers that will help.
We can aspire. Did you hear this? I don't even know what this word means. What does this mean?
Because when we do that, we can aspire to careers that will help change what goes on in this country and have a real democracy. I want to give you an example of it. Right now, as Trump is on trial, you have Letitia James in New York. Mm-hmm. You have...
You hear that? Mm-hmm. I love that. That reminds me of Diamond is Up. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. You have Fannie Willis in Georgia.
Wait. Who is that? Who? What?
You have Fannie Willis in Georgia.
Wait. She says anybody who uses the word Fanny is an idiot. Excuse me, Maxine. Who is that?
Have Fannie Willis in Georgia.
There you go.
And you have Tanya Chunkin, who is a judge, who all have a role to play now, prosecutors and judges. And if we're ever...
A role in what?
To change the criminal justice system and get some justice, we've got to be in there.
Now, I don't know about you, but this is where we are. Now, did you see this one thing? Here's the best part. I'm going to go back right here. You see this picture right here? Where is it? Okay. Diverse Harvard is the best Harvard. Diverse Harvard. Did you see that? Diverse Harvard equals best Harvard. Not exactly the most. It was written, okay, fine, diverse Harvard equals. So they want diversity. This is Harvard they're worried about. Now, do you think by any stretch of the imagination that Maxine might be interested in the number of students who have not been able to graduate because they've dared to utter or aspire to a particular way of thinking that in any way that did not comport with a Netanyahu approved ideology? You think she's talking about that? Hell no. No, absolutely not. Why do you think that is? Because their concern is limited, as is their ability to grasp a lot of what is happening here. This is where we are right now. This is the level. And by the way, going back to Fanny, in that, and I put this piece of Nathan Wade, which I implore you to watch. When she was speaking, when Nathan was speaking to Caitlin Collins, here's Trump, he made a fool out of himself yet again when his media team interrupted it. So we have children, entitled, arrogant, spoiled children. In this case, who figure I can say whatever I want, and whenever I want to speak, I go to the church. You didn't hear the rest of what she said. Something about this sister is not, and say, oh, it's a race thing. Okay, so you think this is about a race? Always go to the race. Racism means nothing. It means nothing. It means absolutely nothing. It has been used to the point and overused to the point where the world has habituated to it. Doesn't mean anything. I hate to say it. It's almost like the word anti-Semitism. If you have an opinion that conflicts with Israeli policy or happens to find Israeli policy contrary to whatever it is, you're called anti-Semitic, which is so ridiculous. Nobody's talking about that here. The rest of the world, okay, which is another story, okay, which is another story. Now, here is the thing which is the most important. And I want everybody to understand what is critical here. We are in the position right now. We are in a place which is very, very important. We have an election coming up, 144 days right now. And I'm telling you that the president could be doing so much more to shore up his attempts to grab new people, new folks, new individuals, new potential voters from areas and voter groups never before even thought of. And sitting around with a bunch of cool guys who were boxers in Mar-a-Lago. You may like that. Don Jr., who was a child, by the way, he may like that. And they may think that's real cool. And that weird Fox News group that likes typhoid or whatever this moron is with a hat, and you may like that. That may be great. That may be like the Portnoys, and I don't understand it. Now's not the time for that, sir. You had the chance to speak to a group of people where you could not give up the ship because you don't know anything, not reveal anything because you don't know anything, not divulge anything because you don't know anything, but you could have showed a real interest and a fascination and legitimizing what many, many people feel is an absolutely, not only a fascinating point. Annie Jacobson, this is Tucker's on it. Lex Friedman talks about this all the time. Joe Rogan talks about it. You have millions of people. Meanwhile, we also, I think, have an alien as the president walking around shaking hands with people and staring. This is an unforced error. This was your chance, sir. And when you talk about how handsome people are, he's not as tall. Don't mention looks. Because you know how many millions of people out there in the world who might say, hey, maybe I'm not handsome. Maybe I'm short. Maybe I'm not tall. Why are you doing this? Why do you focus on this? It's that, I don't know what it is. It's that same mentality that believes that people like the Margot Martins and the Hope Hickses and the Alina Habas, where he likes to be hanging around women that he thinks are hot. It's this juvenile part of the president I don't get. It's like he's give me the trophy candy or whatever the hell you call. I mean, I don't look. We're not going to change it now, but that's just the way he is. This is the guy who, by the way, when he was on trial for sexual battery, he says, when he talks about E. Jean Carroll, she's not my type. What? Oh, so you would attack somebody who was your type? Do you know what you're saying? No, because it's personal. It's infantile, it's sophomoric, it's adolescent. However, he's the only choice. By the same, he can turn around and charm people. And all he's got to do is have somebody somewhere talk to him and have him listen. Because he realizes, I don't have to tell anybody anything. I don't have to tell anybody anything because I've gotten this far on my own. All right, my friends. You dig? You dig. Remember, I'm going to tell you just the way I see it. And I promise you, if you really want to know what's going on, rule number 1, do not watch anything on cable news. This is Mrs. L's channel. Watch her YouTube channel. Subscribe to it. Some of the most important issues there are available today, bar none, right? We'll do this. Next, this is a brutal game. Politics is brutal, brutal. And I'm telling you something right now, which is more important. I'm not here to be a cheerleader. I'm not here to say, hey, Trump's great. He is our only choice. He is chemotherapy or chemosabi, depending upon. He is chemotherapy. Chemotherapy is a poison which is only good when somebody is dying from cancer. The country right now is dying from a cancer, from this woke liberalism or radical left shadow government, whatever this thing is called. And the only way to get rid of it is with a chemotherapy, by the way, it's called Trump. That's it. So you tell every one of your friends, hold your nose. If you don't like it, vote for him. Because the question is simply this. Do you want 4 more years of this stuff? I don't. I can't do it. I can't take it. You got it. Charlie Calais, thank you so much. White Monkey, thank you. Matless X. Raul Rodriguez. Raul, I missed this one. Said, why do Biden's handlers show him absent-minded? That's my question. And Evan Webb, thank you as much. Do not rule out the possibility that the people that you think are really in charge of helping Trump are actually trying to subvert him, trying to derail him. Is that impossible? Absolutely not. All right, dear friends, make sure you are subscribed. I've got some videos coming up. I'm going to be talking more about this fantasy, bro. This incredible. Fannie Willis is one for the ages. And by the way, I forgot to tell you, Loverboy, the garage door lover, he's in the audience too, looking cool. I'll bet you anything. They are back together and they are trying to console because she wants to be the star. The star. And she wants to, okay, fine. Go ahead. America doesn't want that. It may work great in Fulton County. May work great. Just like I told you, this one Jadrul who sits in her car and yells, F this, F that, and she wants to be a congressperson. No. That may work in Bensonhurst or it may work in South Bronx, which is fine. That's not going to work around Middle America. What are you doing? Why do you talk like that? Don't you understand? Nobody find you're believing your own press. Just because people clap for you doesn't mean it's going to work or be universal. That's it. All right, dear friends, have a great day. See you tonight at 7 p.m. And until then, as we always say, as we always back out here, remember these words, the monkey's dead, the show's over, sue you.